Okay, hi guys. Um, this week I thought I would try and chronicle a little bit every day instead of trying to do this at the end of the week. So today is Monday, March 16th, first day of spring break for us. Yesterday, man, I had a rough night. It did not feel like Sunday. It felt really odd. Felt really odd. We had a wonderful family event. Some of my husband's side of the family got to come over. My nephew from Rose and my sister stopped over to visit for his spring break unexpectedly. We were thrilled. And my daughter and son-in-law and the two kiddos came over to get to meet the rest of the family. It was amazing to spend time with family and feel normal and not have to think about the crazy that's happening outside of our four walls. That was Saturday. Sunday night it was almost 10 p.m., we got an email from the provost office requesting us to evaluate staff that wanted to and could work from home probably should. So, yeah, I couldn't shut off my brain. I probably should have just sat down at the computer or with a notebook and just done a download of my thoughts so that I could put them over here and then be able to sleep. I didn't. I don't know why. Finally around 11 p.m., I go to bed early because I get up at 5. Anyway, finally at about 11:30, 12 o'clock, I got up so that I wouldn't keep my husband up, tossing and turning, came up to the upstairs guest room. It was probably 1:30 before I was able to through just exhaustion maybe, fell asleep. My alarm woke me up at 5:04. Hit the snooze once, maybe twice, thinking, oh, you know what? It'll be fine. It's spring break. What's really going to happen? Finally got myself going. Got into the office. It was pretty close to 8. Felt pretty normal for spring break. Quiet, not a lot of activity. One of my students over the weekend that works for us had been contacted about going home. He's from Jordan. Shout out to you. I heart you. His home country was trying to coordinate flights home for their students, for their citizens, in case they wanted to come home. He was really torn about going. There's another student that I mentor from, where's he from? Saudi, and their government was sending 2 chartered planes to DC to pick up any Saudi students from Saudi Arabia that wanted to come home. He called me and said, what should I do? And I said, this is really a decision that you and your parents need to make. We will figure it out here on our side, whatever we need to do to make it work. But you all, this is very unusual situation. You figure out with your parents and yourself, what do you need to do, and we'll support you. So I thought they were both going to go home. I have not checked in. Well, I haven't heard back from the one headed to Saudi Arabia, presumably. Our student from Jordan decided not to go, and he showed up to work today, very thankful that he didn't. It's scary times for people out there, and people don't always have the ability to make free decisions when there's a declared pandemic. When you get home and realize that the decision to quarantine for 2 weeks is not your own to make, and I'm not saying this out of judgment for any particular government, I would fully expect our government to do the same thing for any of our students coming home from a country that's, well, anywhere at this point, right? Unless you're coming from Antarctica, you've been exposed. And so even the U.S., there's not a country out there that I can't imagine would bring you home and not would not make you quarantine for 2 weeks. So he was very thankful that he decided to stay here. I asked how he was feeling mentally and emotionally, and he felt really good about his decision, as did his family. So we again reminded him that we were all here for him if he needed anything. Trying to take advantage of not having students on campus for spring break as we would any spring break. Working on some projects, and then we had heard the rumor mill that restaurants were going to be shutting down for in-person dining. So we wanted to patron one of the local restaurants that we enjoy visiting for what we thought might be the last for a while in-person dining experience. So we took a little bit of a longer lunch, had some great conversation, headed back, and then caught the governor of Indiana's press conference at 2:30, and we're quite stunned to hear that recommendation of gatherings of no more than 10. Wow. Parks, gyms, museums, libraries, we're all going to close. Whew. Restaurants, carry out, no dine-in, drive-through only. And then we listened to the president's press conference that followed. It's hard to know how to feel and what to think. So a little bit distracted today, trying to get myself refocused on the business that I need to take care of. And then just after 5, the president and the provost sent a joint email saying that they were making the decision early that Purdue was not going to go back to face-to-face classes this semester. As soon as spring break was over, Monday, March 23rd, we were committing to remote instruction for the rest of the spring semester. Decisions related to commencement still to be made. I am managing comments and pleads and inquiries from parents on Facebook, all the different groups that I'm a member of, that traditionally I would give them, here's what you need to look out for graduation, and here's insider tips on where to park and when to come and what to look for. And those aren't conversations I'm having for them now. Instead, I'm getting pleas from them to please consider something, anything. I would love to make them all happy, and it's devastating to me because I'm a parent, and I know commencement is mostly for us. It's not for the kids. They could many times care less, but it's that, I don't know, it's the rite of passage. And, I was talking to my daughter, and she said, Mom, if you hadn't have come to graduation, it would not have made my accomplishment any less significant. And she's right. It wouldn't have. It's something that I would have felt she was cheated on, I was cheated on. But in the end, she made a very valid point. It doesn't diminish what she accomplished and what she's become through her college experience becoming a nurse. But nonetheless, I still feel very torn in the responses and the pleas I'm getting from parents. One of the groups, I created a poll just to help me provide some information to the president's office as he's evaluating the decision. As much as I think they all know it's probably not going to happen, everyone wants something to hope for. Even if they know in the end we might have to pull the plug, don't do it now. They want something to hang on to, something to look forward to in this time where potentially we are looking at 8 weeks of distancing. We'll see where that goes. Anyway, what else did we do today? We reached out to our Envisions group and our digital media and marketing to talk about if we had to do something virtually, could we create a filter of the commencement stage so that students could do a little Snapchat or Instagram video and someone could take it of them walking across the stage in their cap and gown, and then there's a memory for them. So I'm hoping we might be able to figure something like that out. I'm working with our photographer on how we might be able to still capture a professional portrait of our students somehow, so there's a memory. How we might be able to still coordinate delivery and pickup of cap and gowns so that individual celebrations and personal photographs can be taken in the cap and gown. So still work to be done. And this is Monday. Tomorrow, what are we going to do? Tomorrow my team is having a staff retreat. Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. So hoping for a good day tomorrow. Yeah, I'm actually meeting with the president on Tuesday. So I'll come back to this and give you more updates tomorrow. Happy Tuesday, you guys. I had a friend message me and said, I got your voicemail and you usually sound like there's a smile in your voice. And today it was gone. Okay. Note, mental health work. I need to get on it. Take care of my mind. You taking care of your mind. This is Tuesday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I have my green on so I wouldn't get pinched. Today in the life of a college administrator, we had planned a staff retreat. My commencement team had already made the commitment that they were going to work from home. Their fearless leader was going to come in. Her plan was to work until she had a personal appointment early in the afternoon. So she was going to come in the office and work until then. Had a great staff retreat with the rest of our customer service team. Very productive. Then about 3 o'clock, stuff started falling apart a little bit. One of our retirees had texted a colleague and said, commencement's been canceled. Wow. Holy cow, where's this coming from? So I'm checking my email because did I miss an announcement? We had met with the president today at 11 a.m., talked about scenarios. We all knew that an in-person event was not going to be an option. He was going to work on a communication to the student and let them know that we were coming up with something for virtual, but let's keep that in this room. So I'm checking my email frantically, and I see that I've got copied that here's the email that's going to go to students at 3:30. We'd shared this story with a media outlet and said that they could release it at 4. We're going to tell students at 3:30, you can share it at 4. Regrettably, they did not honor that commitment. Bear in mind, this is all second and third-hand information. Nonetheless, the news media shared our story before we shared it with our students. Hashtag undermine our credibility and our trust with our students. I was displeased, to say the least. That eliminated any time that we might have had to prepare some FAQs or some tips and responses that we might expect from them. So my afternoon then was cut short, and I was on the phone with a couple of our vendors and the commencement team leader talking about deadlines and dates and options to share, responding to questions about cap and gown rental, those deadlines, those refunds, about diplomas, pickup, and timing. Yeah, we got to do that. I responded to about a gajillion Facebook requests, comments, questions, concerns. Pulled those responses together to then now update our webpage so I could just point to the webpage. Thankfully, the majority of the comments were people that were disappointed but understood the decision. Of course, you're going to have the small number of armchair quarterbacks that are going to tell you that you've made the wrong decision, that you've decided too early, that why can't you just wait and see? But we've got to do what we've got to do with the information that we have. As someone, I don't remember who it was, said, we may learn in a few weeks or a few months that we overreacted. That will be a good thing. I would much rather learn that we overreacted, responded too quickly for the benefit, rather than we took this thing too lightly and now it's been devastating. I would much rather err on that side. I'm working to get the smile back in my voice. And I will be back with you tomorrow for more updates because we have a virtual ceremony we need to create and make amazing in 7 weeks. Till tomorrow. Hey guys, happy Wednesday. My earbuds. I'm hoping the earbuds will help with the background music that my husband is providing us. He's downstairs. He did a work from home day today. Our garage door is broken, so yeah, he volunteered to stay home and the guys to give us an estimate on repairing the garage door. So it's Wednesday, March 18th. Yeah, so another crazy day. I felt like I got a decent night's sleep last night. Woke up without the alarm this morning a little before 5. Went ahead and rolled out of bed, got the coffee, and did my daily routine, devotions, little journaling, kind of slowly easing into my day. I find that I do start the day better. This whole thing is supposed to be documenting what this COVID-19 has been doing to us all. Anyway, so Wednesday, headed to the joint. I decided that a market run might not be a bad idea, so I stopped at the local Payless in the West La Fiesta. For those of you that don't know, I do commute. I have about a 47-mile commute one way. I live in western Howard County in Indiana and commute to West Lafayette in Tippecanoe County. Anyway, so I'm going to stop at the Payless, and I needed to get some cash. That's what I needed. I needed to stop at the Payless. I was going to pick up something for lunch and do some cash back so I could pay cash. One of my blessed coworkers offered to stop at the surplus store on campus yesterday and buy me a couple 10-inch monitors for $10 a piece, so that if and when, not if, most likely when, I needed to set up my home office, I had a couple of monitors to add to my laptop. Our business just lends itself to being more efficient when I have multiple screens to work on. I wanted to get cash back and not have to pay an ATM fee, so stopped at the Payless. I was pleased to see that they were closed until 7, doing some cleaning. I was happy to wait that 7 minutes until they open. And they were stocked. It was wonderful. Why doesn't the media cover this part of it? Nonetheless, so I got to the office. Several of my team were already there. They like to come in early, get some overtime in with some ongoing projects that just never seem to end. And I had goals on my to-do list today. I wanted to edit. I've got 5 short videos for my faculty and students that I had recorded last week, and I have been trying to get them edited and uploaded into our YouTube channel. So I wanted to come in and get that done today, get a couple meetings scheduled with my campus partners on WebEx to talk about what our virtual ceremony might look like. So yeah, that's how my day was to be started. By 8:30-ish, by 8:30, I was in my boss's office. We were running down a list of questions and considerations for him to take to his 10 a.m. meeting with the provost and faculty reps regarding decisions that they need to make yet for this semester. Apparently, students across the country have petitioned for pass, no pass option for this semester that has gone a haywire. I'm totally supportive of that. I get their point. I have worries about the implications for them if we go that way that they may not have considered, both not just for this semester, but semesters down the road. So we talked through some implications that I wanted him to make sure he took to the faculty to address for not only this term, but for future terms. Get back to my office, and a couple of my staff had some questions, responding to a handful of emails. Never did get to my videos today. I took a call from a couple of vendors regarding cap and gown and photography for our candidates. Did an excellent job today of not going to the social media. My day was consumed with that yesterday and responding to the floods of disappointed parents that we chose to cancel our ceremony. More of those were coming in today. I checked the Facebook when I got home, and I had like 43 notifications. Mostly, yeah, I get it. Still a small number of, I think you were premature. Why did you let the students vote? Why couldn't you postpone? You know, as with anything, it's easy to criticize and pass judgment when you don't have all the information. I did a Skype call with my commencement team today, checked in. They've been working from home for a few days, and it was nice to see each other's faces and to engage. And they all acknowledged it's very different working from home without the socialization. And one of them asked me if I wrote the post that I shared on our commencement page, letting students and parents know about the decision. And I said, yeah, why do you ask? And her response was, it sounded like you, and it almost made me cry because it is heartbreaking. And I'm going to tear up about this right now. It is so disappointing for us as well. As exhausting as our ceremonies are in May, we probably more than 100 hours for a commencement event. I mean, I know doctors in training do this and they have lives at stake. We do this to honor our students and the work they put in and the families for the financial and emotional. Yeah, it's an investment for a lot of people. And yeah, it means a lot to us to put on a top-notch, beyond comparison event for our graduates, and the memories that we know we help them make that they will hang on to for a lifetime. And the fact that that's gone now. I'm not going to second guess the administration of our university, whether I think it was right or not, whether I think it was premature or not. It doesn't matter. This is where we're at. And I'm a rose-colored glasses half full kind of girl, and we're going to make the most of this. And we're going to engage our seniors, as many as we can, in helping design what a virtual ceremony looks like that no one has done before. So, yeah, that was my day. Worked on some email language to help empower my team to respond to the floods of email inquiries that they're getting in today. And stopped at the market on the way home. I was able to find some eggs and some diapers for my daughter who could find none today. And I'll be stopping, knock on wood, I'll be stopping at the Payless in the morning to get some meat to put in the freezer just in case. My husband's very anxious about where we might be headed health-wise. He suffers from asthma, so he's incredibly anxious. I think they've been exposed already at work. He has the president of his small company was in Italy about a month, 5 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer. And after learning about the symptoms, he believes that some headache and sore throat and chronic cough that he had complained about, his boss, the president, had complained about several weeks ago was probably coronavirus, but it wasn't really on anyone's radar at that point. And again, that's probably been 3 to 4 weeks ago, so exposure's already happened, I'm sure. We're planning for what it's going to be like when students return to campus next week after spring break has ended. The entire globe is a level 2 travel advisory, so we're seeking guidance from the emergency preparedness team on what we should be asking of our students that left campus for the break, if they should self-quarantine for a couple of weeks, and we can get them some work from their dorm rooms to help support the effort of the university. And yeah, I need to have the tough conversation with my husband about whether he wants me to work from home for a while, just out of respect for his own concerns about his health. That'll be tough. I mean, I would prefer to be in the office with my team as long as they want to be in there. But it's scary and challenging when right now we're not close to walk-in traffic. If we were just doing virtual, that might be a little bit easier to come to agreement with my husband. But because we are still open doors, and if someone wants to walk in, social distancing, 6 feet, I don't know what the right thing is. Does anybody at this point? I feel like I'm slowly starting to get used to our new normal, although I don't want this to be normal. I still have a feeling of unsettledness. Walking around campus, it's empty because it's spring break, I keep telling myself. But next week it'll be very different. So considerations that I've asked the faculty to consider when they're evaluating a pass, no pass option for the students. That's the petition right now. They want pass, no pass. So right now, the policy regulation at our institution is in order to get a pass instead of a letter grade. So the benefit is a pass and a no pass option means there's no GPA effect. So I could get all no passes this semester and it's not going to affect my GPA up or down. That's the no risk option for the students. Okay, sounds great and a no-brainer, right? But right now you have to get a C- or better in the class to have that translate into a pass. But if you only need the credit to move on, wouldn't a D- kind of be better so that you can just check the box and earn the credit and move on? So I've asked for the faculty to consider, for this semester only, lowering the threshold for a passing grade. Other implications are for financial aid eligibility. Do they need a GPA? What if a no pass, it's no earned credit? Does that have implications on financial aid? Yep. Does that have implications on our international students? Yeah. It could have implications on our veterans that receive benefits. I asked the question about athletics and, people laughed. What athletics? It's all been canceled. Valid point, but nonetheless. We have also a policy with foreign languages that if you take anything higher than beginner language, once you complete that next level language with a C- or higher, we will award you credit for those lower level courses, but only if you get a C- or better. So if we allow students to make the decision to go pass, no pass, is the administration willing to overrule the departmental decision? We have implications to a pass, no pass option related to graduating with distinction or high distinction, related to Dean's List and semester honors, as it relates to academic standing. So are you on probation? Are you on academic drop? Or are you on good standing? There are a lot of implications to this decision. Is it going to be a blanket? Some institutions just across the board have told students, we're going to make everything this semester pass, no pass. Well, if I was on track for an A, buddy, I want my A and the 4.0 that comes with that. So y'all better think about that. So I believe where we're headed is students will self-elect what do they want, but the faculty want to remove any barriers for approvals. So if the students want it and they ask for it, they can have it. Not only that, but we want to give them up until finals week to make that decision. I've heard some institutions this semester are even giving them, you take the final and then make the decision. There's also talk about extending the deadline to withdraw until right before finals. At this point, anything's on the table. We also realize that these decisions and implications will have lingering effects for up to 4 years. And so how do we identify the students that this is affecting? So we are developing a mechanism to tag every currently enrolled student in the system today so that when problems arise next semester, 4 years down the road, we can say, oh yeah, these are the kiddos that suffered, that went through this experience. The registrars across the country had a call today talking about we probably need to add a transcript comment for historic purposes to explain why we did the things we did this semester. So there's that. What else did we do today? Oh, we found out that in 150 years of Purdue history, we have never canceled a university commencement at our campus until 2020. It was on the table, I think, either during World War I or World War II to cancel it out of respect. The student population voted, nope, we're going to do it. We're going to move forward. So we went 150 years without ever canceling a commencement ceremony. And then year 151, here we go. That was Wednesday. It was wonderful talking to you all. And I feel like I'm doing a better job managing my mind and how I choose to think about things today. So, I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow. Till Thursday.